Okay, so for those of you that fall asleep during this, it's being recorded, so you can watch it at a later time. Um, I'm going to introduce you to the new Flexbuy. Some of you have been around, have been with me a while. You know about the old Flexbuy. Well, this is the new Flexbuy that's in partnership with Ali Razi and BCMS, and I think it's much improved than the old Flexbuy. I think we have a great product line now, and I think we're heading in a very good direction. And my goal is to help you guys make a lot of money. So let's get this thing started. So I'm going to go right into what the new product line is, and I've gone really. I've tried my best to simplify this as much as possible without diminishing the quality of what we have to offer. I mean, if I had one product that would cover it all, I would just limit us to one. Over time, I've learned what people want and what people don't want, and I know which products work and what doesn't work, and we've eliminated some over that time as well. But here's a rundown, and I'm going to go into more detail on these programs in a few minutes. But here's a rundown of a summary of what the programs are. Um, First, we have, and what I think is now our core is our credit-based platforms. We have two credit-based platforms. So these are programs that accommodate both prime credit down to subprime, and it's for people that fall into what is today considered the average credit score, which is below 660. So the opening is this: traditional lenders like GE Credit and Wells Fargo really have dominated whatever financing is out there. And what they're looking for is credit scores of 680, preferably 700 and higher. The problem is that the average consumer today in America has a credit score below 660. So GE and Wells Fargo is not talking to the common person, not talking to the average person. So our goal was to develop a platform of platforms that will not only get those get those people that are prime, that are fortunate enough to have prime credit 700 or higher, but also be able to accommodate those people that have been damaged by the economy, by the a recession we had in the last 6 7 years. So here's the way the platforms now look. First, we have Credit Select program. Okay, the Credit Select is a credit-based program. It's very powerful, but it's a single lender or at most a dual lender platform. So for the most part, the merchant that's set up with Credit Select will be set up with one lender that offers prime to subprime um, uh, products. So it's very powerful in that the lender we have selected, and there's actually a couple lenders that are part of the same platform are very good. They're very powerful. They got an online platform where a merchant could put an application in, and it's instant decisions 100% of the time. So they're not going to get all approvals, but they're going to get decisions instantly, and they're going to get a high degree of approvals. This platform will accommodate people down to 610 credit scores. It will accommodate amounts up to 8,500, though keep in mind this platform and as well as our Credit Select Plus platform is highly customizable. So every business vertical will be set up a little bit different. So if you're setting up, let's say, a home services business in with the Credit Select program, chances are they're going to be set up with a higher limit than 8,500. They'll probably go to 15,000. Same on certain kind of medical. So this is a highly customizable program that we will design for a merchant to make it work for them. Um, the the cost to the merchant is $60 per month or 2% of the funded loans, whichever is higher, and the discounts go up to 22%. So for prime credit, they're going to see very low discounts, 2, 4, 6%, and the discounts will increase as the credit goes down. So this is a typical credit-based program. Merchants will get this, they'll understand it, they'll be able to weigh the risks, and because we can customize it, we can basically dictate what we will give their customers or what we won't give their customers. The pros and cons: this is a low-cost financing. This is This is giving them financing on training wheels, so they don't have to invest a lot of money to get involved. It's an easy online process for the customers with instant decision. The actual platform, as I said, is customizable. The cons, it's a pretty lengthy merchant approval process. It takes about 2 weeks to get the merchant approved. They go through some vetting, and this lender wants to make sure they're dealing with either a merchant that has pretty decent volume right now, or has the potential to have decent volume. So they're not necessarily going to be interested in the mom and pop guy, the auto repair shop that's doing $120,000 a year. This is not for them. But this is for a business that's doing decent volume, and it'll be very subjective, and we'll decide. Not all business types and businesses will be accepted through this platform. Most are, but there are some holes in it. We found out that this lender does not like, for instance, trucking and cosmetic schools. They'll do every other kind of trade school and education. They love that. They also love things verticals that other lenders don't like. Like they'll do any kind of membership program. So country clubs, and they do off the wall stuff. They'll do timeshares. So they'll do some strange kind of stuff. So we can customize for the kind of verticals they do. We can customize the programs accordingly. It's a very powerful program. So, Bob? And you know what? And you'll notice that there isn't anything here as far as setup fee. The enrollment fee cost is $0 to you, and I'm suggesting that we not charge enrollment fees wherever possible. And I know some of you may have to. I'm going to show you other ways you can make money up front. There's other products we have that allow you to make money up front. I'm trying to lower the barrier, and I'm going to show you some examples later on of how you can make money in this industry if you allow yourself to take in as possible and really build a residual business. So, with all of our programs, with the exception of where equipment is involved, there's no enrollment fee. So we're not going to charge you and are going to charge the merchant an enrollment fee. As a matter of fact, Flexxbuy will not charge an enrollment fee. So if somebody does contact us directly from the website and they're looking for a program, we're not going to charge enrollment fees. So that is something that I'm strongly going to recommend. I hope you buy into this, because I think it's the way to go. It's lost us a lot of sales. People don't want to make that investment. The other thing about these programs, I've only selected programs that are no long-term contracts, can be canceled at any time, and there's no cancellation fees. So there's no risk to any of the merchants to join these programs. If they give it an honest shot, and we may create incentives to at least give it an honest shot. They can sign up without feeling that they're going to be tied into a 1-year contract. So this is very important. I really want to build a volume business. I think there's an opportunity here to do that. The next program is the Credit Select program. Okay, the Credit Select is it's a hybrid of the Credit 180 low prime, no prime deal we had before. It's been mutated into the new Credit Select Plus program. So what that is it's a multi-lender prime to subprime platform. So as part of this platform, there's actually 19 lenders that are set up in this platform. Now, every merchant's not going to get 19. As a matter of fact, none of the merchants are going to get 19. We will customize the lenders for the specific merchant, for the business type. For most businesses, they will get between 3 and 5 lenders. The great thing about this platform is we can add and subtract as we find, that as we see holes, we can add additional lenders. There's a wide array of lenders that are part of this platform, and it's really a terrific platform. It can go down to credit scores of 500, though what we're going to create is we're going to create a threshold. So a merchant, obviously, the key ingredient of this platform is they'll do prime lending to people with credit scores down to 640. Very important. The average, they will help the average consumer, unlike traditional lenders. When you get below 640, or in some cases higher than 640, but other circumstances that may make the consumer subprime, the discounts obviously start kicking in. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to allow the merchant to create their threshold. So they may say, I don't want any discount that's higher than 25%. And we'll cut them off, so the lender will not make any approvals or not make any offers to consumers that the discount is higher than 25%. We can work with the merchant, to massage it. The amounts can go to $30,000 for prime, although for home services and Title I's, they can go up to $100,000. It goes down to $10,000 for subprime. The cost to the merchant, again, no enrollment fee. There's 3 different monthly minimum fees, and that's up to you as far as what you select. It's $199, $249, or $299 per month, or 2% of funded loans, whichever is higher. So you pick the monthly amount. I'm going to pick the lowest. I really want volume. I have a few merchants in my own personal portfolio that are doing a lot of volume. Okay. It's very important to find those merchants, and we have to reduce the barrier of entry to get those merchants, because the majority of the merchants are going to do their 1, 2, 3, 4 loans. There are some out there, and you have to be prepared to get them, and they have to become part of your portfolio that will do $50, $60, $80, $100, $200,000 a month. They're out there. Okay. I want you to go get them. That's the way to build this business. It's not the way to really build this business. And you can make a living charging $500, $800 upfront for enrollment, but you're not going to build a volume business that way. It's going to turn off too many people. Even businesses that have the money, I have found, and this is my experience, on principle will not pay the money, or maybe they've been burnt in the past and won't pay the money. So we're going to reduce it. So we're down to 0 enrollment fee once again. The loan cost for the merchant, it's $199 closing cost that they can add on the primes, plus there's a 2% post-closing discount. I got some words mixed up here. Discount for prime. Okay, so it's $199 which they can tack onto the loan, and we'll deduct 2% for the funded loans. That happens at the end of the month. For subprime, the discounts can go up to 45%. So that's why we create that threshold, because not every business type can withstand a 45% discount. So what part of the education and part of the boarding and part of the customization process is we talk to the merchant about what can they withstand as far as discount and still make this a viable program. I had a conversation with an attorney yesterday or the day before who's interested, and I can set him up on this Credit Select Plus program. And the conversation went like, he has a ton of accounts receivable in his desk that's uncollected, because the way attorneys work is they have a retainer that they want to get or a fee they want to get, but they usually don't get it. And what they'll do is they'll take whatever the customer can pay them and then work out a payment arrangement on the rest. But what typically happens is if the client loses interest at any point, or the case ends before it's been paid up, guess what? The client has lost all motivation to pay, so they get stuck with a bunch of accounts receivables. So this attorney felt that they could not pass on any discount to the customer, to the client. So now the question is, what can they absorb? And when I dug into the numbers, they could absorb a lot, because they're losing a lot of money. So if they even take 25% discounts or 30% discounts, it's a windfall for them, because this is money they don't have to collect on. They don't have to make calls. They don't have to pass on to collection agency. They don't have to write off. So they're going to build up their client base at the same time, and it's really going to be a bonanza for them. The pros of this program: multi-lender, custom-built lending platform, instant decisions on prime credit to a 640 credit score. Once it gets beyond the prime into subprime, we're in the process of creating the APIs for the various lenders. As I mentioned, there's 19 lenders, so they're not there yet. So it becomes more of a manual process. So if the customer is approved for the prime, it will be instant decision. If it goes into subprime, it can be anywhere from half an hour to a few hours, depending on what goes around, what lender comes up. It's an easy merchant approval process, and it can handle almost all business types. The cons, as I said, the subprime can take up to a few hours for approval, and it's direct to consumer funding. So the consumer gets the money to pay the merchant. Now, that's not an issue. GE has been doing it like that forever. So obviously there's a model for it. So what we're going to train our merchants to do is create some kind of incentive. Insist on some kind of deposit, on some kind of down payment that will make the consumer come back to them. Because once they have the money, theoretically they can go any place they want. So we're going to help them create an incentive to come back. Once it's an education process, once the merchant understands it, and once they understand that GE has been doing it that way for years, it's not a major stumbling block to overcome. Next program, and so those are the credit-based programs. Next program is the Easy Pay 360. That's the SPS program. That's a 3, 6, 12-month financing option, non-credit-based, no-income check program. Decisions are based mostly on the checking account. They'll pull credit report about 50% of the time if they can't get enough information from the checking account. And what they're looking for in the credit is not FICO score. They don't care about bankruptcies. They don't care about repossessions. They want to know whether the person is in declining credit. So if they're in a situation where there are R60s, R90s, I60s, where obviously they're not paying people right now, then they're going to get turned down. But if they look like they're stable, they'll get approved. So that's what they look for. The lender has a setup fee for this program of $195. There's an equipment cost. If you get it from us, it's $295. They can lease it. Guys, you're not seeing this page?
No.
Everybody sees this page, right? Okay. Somebody had said that it was stuck on the first page.
Yeah, mine's stuck too.
Well, you're only working on the first page.
Well, it's the first page of the spreadsheet, right? You see the Easy Pay 360 right here, right? Oh,
that's all you need.
Yeah. That's what I'm up to. So I'm up to the Easy Pay 360. Okay. All right. Okay. As long as we're on the same page. So the lenders has a setup fee of $195. The equipment, if you purchase it from us, it's $295. They can also lease it. I spoke to SPS the other day. They're coming out with a tablet version of this, and which means that all the merchants got to do is get their Android tablet or their iPad tablet, and they'll be able to run this program off of that. They're now looking at September. They were hoping to do it in August. They've had some glitches. They're looking at September, so that's going to be a big boost. Discounts for this program go up to 30.95. A few verticals will go up a little bit higher. It's based on the term and based on the vertical, 3, 6, 12 month, or the type of business they are. The merchant can build it in so they can pass all the cost on to the consumer. The monthly minimum fee is between $35 to $100 depending on the per customer limit. And there's other small miscellaneous fees. The pros, there's a very high approval rate. 70% of customers are being approved. That's the average right now. It's a fairly quick and easy customer process. Customer only needs ID and check, no bank statements, no pay stubs, only an ID and one physical check. And the merchant can get up to 100% of the sale if they build it in and pass it on to the consumer. The cons, equipment is required. So that's always a pain in the butt, having to get the equipment. Hopefully, like I said, once it goes to the iPad version, that's going to change. Customer required to put down 25% of the total. That's a big detriment. A lot of merchants don't necessarily get that, and until they get the program. People don't necessarily have that initial down payment. In which case, they weren't going to make the sale anyway, because if they don't have 25%, they're certainly not going to have 100%. Physical checks are required. That's a big issue too today. Also, they're doing away with. I spoke to them. The next phase after the tablet version, they're going to do away with physical checks and go with just a checking account, which is going to be a bonanza, because a lot of people, including myself, do online bill pay. I never write personal checks anymore. So especially young people don't even know what checks are. So physical checks, not having physical checks is a big issue with this program, and it's not appropriate for all business types. They have things pop up all the time. They have certain types of businesses they just do not like for whatever reason. I just found out they don't like audio car audio installations. They don't like car audio. They don't like electronics. So there's certain verticals that they just absolutely don't like. Then again, there's certain verticals you can do, like attorneys. They will do attorneys. So there's some good give and take. Our core programs, what I'm considering our core, is our credit-based programs. The check-based programs, to me, is a niche program. That's going to be good for maybe some of the smaller auto repair shops. It's going to be good for the businesses that have the smaller tickets, not for the ones that have the bigger tickets. If a business has tickets above $3,000, I would look at the credit-based programs, not the check-based programs, for a lot of reasons. We have the Lease-to-buy. This is the Crest program. This is working well. We don't have a ton of merchants on it yet, but I can tell you that when I took them on, they estimated there'll be a 70 to 90% approval rating. So far, the merchants we have signed up, there's about an 80% approval rating. They're pretty much on the money. So, and they fund. So not only are they getting approvals, but obviously they're getting approvals that are satisfactory to the merchant, because the merchant's actually funding them. So this is a good program. It's up to 12 months, no credit check, lease-to-buy financing for retail businesses. Merchants can offer a 90-day same. They have two versions of this. They can offer a 90-day same as cash program if they accept a 6% discount, or there's a 90-day payback with a small discount to the consumer if the merchant gets 100% of their money. So there's two different versions of the program. The consumer pays $40 at time of the consumer pays $40 at time of approval, and that's it. The rest of it is financed, and the discount if the merchant. Most of the merchants still pick the 6% discount version, because to be able to advertise 90 days same as cash is very important. The pros, up to 90% approvals, offer 90 days same as cash, no equipment required. It's an easy online decision. No documents are required most of the time. They'll just approve based on what they get. The cons, if it goes beyond 90 days, it becomes very expensive to the consumer. It becomes a lease. So if you do the math, it's about an 80% interest rate if it takes the consumer a year to pay this back. It's fully disclosed, and the good news, bad news is most customers think they're going to pay this off in 90 days and not incur those costs. The bad news is very few do. So it becomes a very expensive program. They can pay it off before the 12 months, and then they get a discount on their payback. But the consumer, it gives the consumer something. The payments are reasonable. It does give them 12 months, and as long as they do it with their eyes wide open, it's fine. It's only good for retail businesses that sell tangible products. So it's not for service businesses. It's got to be a consumer tangible product. So, something that can be repossessed, and it can't be titled. So it's not good for power sports, because in some states power sports are titled. But it's good for tires and wheels. If you're doing auto repair, it's not good for auto repair. But if they're selling tires and rims, they can use it for tires and rims. Just about any other kind of tangible product is good. So anything that's tangible, that this can work on it. We're not promoting this as a standalone product. You can certainly sell it that way. There's no cost to the merchant. There's no monthly. There's no upfront cost. But it makes an excellent add-on to the other programs. So if you're selling anybody that's in the retail space and you're doing Credit 180, you might. I'm sorry, I'm using the old nomenclature. If you're doing the Credit Select, they're a retail business that sells a tangible product, you can add this on for no additional cost, and it makes a great 1-2 punch. Okay, so those are the consumer financing programs. So I've really simplified it. You don't have a ton anymore, but we can cover just about every vertical type that sells business to consumer. This is a new we have a new category I'm going to be talking about in a second. This is the business category, okay? So we have Flex Funds Direct, which is the cash advance loans, which we've been doing. We have the multi-lender platform Flex Funds program. So one application, one credit report, one set of statements goes to up to 20 or more funders, and they start bidding. It works. We're making money on this program. It's really an excellent program for businesses that need quick, easy money based on their revenue, based on their credit card processing. But now we also have a equipment leaseback program as well that works, and it's really an exciting program. I'm still learning a little bit about it, where I'm going through the training now on it. But it's great for products that have something to collateralize. So anything at all. It can be company vehicles. It can be just about anything at all. We have lenders, funders that will actually give the business working capital based on that collateral, and the terms are much better than the cash advance. They'll go from 2 years up to 5 years. The interest rates are in the single digits into the 20s. It's a really attractive program. So if a business needs money, we now could hit a lot of different areas. The pros: multi-lender, bid for best deal, funding in 5 to 10 business days in most cases or less. Minimum documentation is required for all these programs. They're not going to ask for financial statements. It's all going to be based on revenue. Many options for businesses that have collateral. So if you're dealing with a business that has collateral, we not only do we have cash advance, we have the leaseback program and the funding program. We really have a lot of options for them. Fewer options for businesses that don't have equipment or collateral. Higher cost than a traditional commercial lenders, particularly on the cash advance. The cash advance can get expensive. Merchants know it going in. They understand it. It serves a purpose. Okay. I'm going to go more into detail on these in a minute. Flex Funds eSale. Okay, this is an exciting program. We now have a business-to-business customer financing program. So before we only had business-to-consumer. Now, if you have a business that sells products to other businesses, it can be computers, it can be software, it can be signs, it can be equipment, it can be just about anything. We can now offer these businesses the opportunity to offer financing to their customers. It's a really terrific product. Decisions will typically take about 48 hours. The terms are excellent, 2 to 5 years. Low interest rates, very affordable to the business. You make significant. Both of these programs offer you great opportunity to make upfront money. So, I encourage you to charge as little as you possibly can on the consumer-based products as far as an enrollment fee. And try to find the businesses that need these products, because with these products you can make significant money. So, these are the programs. This is the monthly cost on this business-to-business. It's 3% of the funded loans are $99, whichever is higher. So that's the cost. That's the cost to the merchant to sign up to be able to offer financing to their commercial customer. It's really a new product. It's really exciting. The cons: business must sell a tangible product. Though there is potential, in some cases we can offer products for intangible products, but it's really for very prime customers only. Let's limit it to tangible products. I think that's the wheelhouse here. We don't have to force the issue. There's enough businesses out here that sell tangible products to clients, to customers. Okay, so I'm going to go into more details on this. Let me fly through this. I'm going to go quickly through the program and the commission base on this. So the Credit Select, as I mentioned, it's $60 per month to the merchant, or 2% of funded loans, whichever is greater. You make 100% of whatever you decide to charge on the enrollment fee. We give you a $50 sign-up bonus. So if you're a BCMS agent, this is unique to a BCMS agent, we're going to give you a $50 sign-up bonus. And you make 50% of the residual. So whatever we get residual-wise, split that with you 50-50. The Credit Select Plus program, the cost to the merchant, as I said, is $199, $249, or $299 a month, or 2% of the funded loans, whichever is greater. Again, you keep 100% of whatever you decide to charge on the enrollment fee. You get the $50 sign-up. If you're charging $199 per month, it's $50 or 50% of funded loan residual, whichever is higher. If you charge $249, it's $75 per month or 50% of the funded loan residual, whichever is higher. If you're charging $299 per month, it's $100 per month or 50% of funded loan residuals, whichever is higher. Guys, if somebody can mute their phone, I would hope that for an hour you can give us your undivided attention, but if you absolutely can't, mute your phone. The Easy Pay, the SPS program, the equipment cost, as I mentioned, is $295. You can charge what you want. You can also use leasing. You can use your own leases, your own lease program, which we prefer, or you can lease through us. If you lease through us, we're going to take a 15% haircut to it, just to cover us on the risk. The monthly fee to the merchant is $30. It's a minimum fee. So if they use the program, all these, by the way, when this is monthly fee, these are minimum fees. So, if you don't get the merchant in the place where they're going to believe they're using this program, have to deal with those fees, you're not going to make a sale. If they're worrying about that monthly fee, that means they think they're not going to have a need for this program. If they use these programs, those monthly fees aren't going to matter because they're not going to apply. So on this Easy Pay 360, these are monthly minimum fees. If they do one deal per month, it covers the monthly fee. So as long as you can sell them into the idea that they're going to do at least one deal a month, that monthly fee is not going to matter to them. There was a question about what the equipment is. The SPS equipment is the same. It's a terminal and a check imager for now. It's usually an Omni 3750 or equivalent, and the RDM 6000 check imager. As I said, around September they're going to come up with a tablet version, which I hope is going to eliminate it, because the equipment is a headache on a lot of different levels. Not only the cost, but also the implementation of the equipment sometimes is a big headache, especially if we're doing it remotely. You charge 100% above the buy rate. I mean, you make 100% above the buy rate if you sell the equipment. If you lease the equipment, the same thing. You make 100% minus the 15% discount haircut above the buy rate, and you get 50% of the funded loan residual. Okay. On the business-to-business side, on the e-sale program, you get 100% of whatever setup fee you choose to charge. If you choose to charge one, you get $50 per month or 50% of the residual commission, whichever is higher. Okay. And I missed the lease and the business loan lease program. I missed the whole page here. On the lease-to-buy, no credit check financing, the commission is 1% of funded loans. That's the gross residual. That's the gross residual, and you get 50% of that. So it's 0.0. I don't know why I did it this way, but it's 0.5% of funded loans. On the business loan side, if you want to charge a personal service fee, you can. I don't recommend it. Part of the allure of the program is we'll do all the work without any kind of commitment from the merchant, and you get 50% of the gross commission that comes in off of that. And on the e-sales, as I said, 100% of the setup fee if you charge one, $50 per month, or 50% of the residual commission, whichever is higher. All this, everything I'm showing you, by the way, is in the back office, and I'll make this PowerPoint presentation available to you as well. All right, this is something I've developed, which I think is going to help you a lot. It's a logic flow chart, and I'm not going to go into it. This is in the back office. It basically walks you down a path of what to sell. Okay, so it starts off, what kind of product does a business sell? Is it selling a product or service for $300 or higher? If they're selling a consumer, you go down this path. If they're selling a business, you go down this path. If they're an auto repair business, it's basically pointing you to which programs will be suitable. Does the business sell a tangible product? If it's a business, so there's a lot. You have to pull this up. I'm not going to go over this now, but it really will help you in trying to decide how to make a decision as far as which way to go and which business types to go after. It's like some business types, auto repair, just about any of our products work. Medical, just about any. There are some that are more that are more niche than others. So it will tell you which program to sell, which is more appropriate. As I'm going to show you in a minute, the right approach, in my opinion, is not to go into a sale with any preconceived notions. Try to understand what the business needs and try to platform that's most appropriate for them. But this flow chart is in the back office, and I think it will work well for you. And you should, especially if you're new, take a look at it. Try to follow the logic. This is a scenario, and this is not a promise of income, and this is also in the back office. I went through a scenario of how you can make six-figure income very, very quickly in this industry, just on the consumer financing side. This doesn't take into account anything else you may sell. This is just consumer financing, and this assumes that you charge no enrollment fees. So what I want to do here is I wanted to show you how you can make significant money without charging enrollment fees, and what you have to do, and it's not pie in the sky. If you close, and you have to go through the whole scenario, but essentially it assumes that at the end of each month you're gonna sell 3 of the flex funds, the cash advance or business loans, 1 of the Easy Pay, the 360, and 3 of the Credit Select Plus programs. Okay, this is not pie in the sky. This is assuming you touch 10 prospects a day. If you're not touching 10 new businesses a day, why call it a work day? I mean, it really you should be touching 10 businesses a day. If the closing rate, if you do that, is only 3.5%. It's not very ambitious. Some of you I know are great salespeople. You can do a lot better than that. But that's making these assumptions. At the end of year 1, your income, if you do this, your income, assuming you're going from a standing start, your income would be $71,400 going into year 2. At the end of year 2, you're looking at $99,744, and at the end of year 3, it's $121,000. So, and this assumes fewer than 2 sales per week. And this doesn't take into account any credit card processing you may be selling, any of the other products you may be selling. So take a look at this when you have a chance. This is not pie in the sky. If you're willing, I'm willing to help you get here, but you got to put in the effort. You got to make those 10 touches a day. If you make the 10 touches a day, there's no reason why you can't reach these numbers relatively quick, or even quicker than this. Okay, so here's how it works. As a salesperson, here's how it works. This is my suggested approach. Guys, please mute your phone. There's noise in the background. This is my suggested approach. This is what I've always preached. Step 1, complete the simple online financing platform proposal request form. You can do this with the merchant. You can have the merchant do it. Let me show it to you. It's very simple. It's on the website, and this is, by the way, we're in the process of rebuilding the website. It's a simple questionnaire. I suggest you do it. It basically asks the business, if the business is not willing to invest this time to fill this in, you're not going to make a sale because they have to want this more than you want it. So they have to be willing to take out the 5 minutes, and we're not asking. I took out some of the difficult questions. I want to know the basics. How many years in business? Do you offer financing? Do you currently advertise? There's basic questions here that are not that difficult, to answer. So it's an easy link. Send it to your merchant. Do it with your merchant. Do it for your merchant. Whatever you do, get this completed. Step 2. Let us build the appropriate lending platform that matches the needs of the business. We're going to come back with the business and say, all right, this is what I suggest. Based on your volume, let's go with Credit Select. Let's go with Credit Select Plus. You're a niche business. Let's go with the Easy Pay 360. We're going to build a platform and suggest a platform that makes sense. Step 3, enroll them. So, get the paperwork done. All the paperwork is in the back office, and I'll be fixing the back office and making it a lot more user-friendly in the coming weeks. It's a little bit of a project. Step 4, the merchant starts submitting applications through the simple online portal where appropriate. So the Credit Select and Credit Select Plus, both online programs. The Lease-to-buy program is an online program, and the Easy Pay 360 is soon to be an online program. Even the e-sales, even the Flex Funds e-sale program, that's an online program. So everything, we're going in a direction where everything's going to be able to be done from a computer or a tablet. Very important, and that's going to happen very, very quickly. Step 5, your lenders review the application, starting with primary lenders, and waterfalling down to the secondary lenders as applicable. So if they're set up with Credit Select or Credit Select Plus, and if Credit Select, they have 2 lenders, the prime lender looks at it first, the subprime lender looks at it second. Same thing on the Credit Select Plus. The prime lender looks at it first. If they can't do it, it starts going down to whatever number of lenders they have set up for them, and then hopefully somebody in that chain will approve it and take it from there, and they get funded. The great thing about the Credit Select Plus program, by the way, is the selling is done for the merchant. The merchant doesn't have to sell it. The people that run the back office of the platform, they'll actually get on the phone with the merchant, go over with the consumer, go over the program options, and sell them on the program. It's much easier for the merchant. It's really a piece of cake program. Okay, I'm going to go over this quickly. I'm going to have other webinars on the program specifically, but I'm going to show you, and this is all in the back office, by the way. These are program sheets that we have in the back office for each one of these programs. This is the Credit Select program. So this is what a typical proposal will look like that will show a merchant. We're going to show them an A, B, or C, starting with go from 610 up to 720 credit score. As you can see, this is in this case, it's a medical financing program. It's 9.9% to 17.9% for the consumer, 12, 24, 36 months. This can be extended to 48 months. It's assuming $8,500. It can be extended to $15,000. We can build in 0% same as cash. So when I say it's customizable, I really mean it's customizable. We work with the lender that makes sense for the merchant. There's a $15.99 on approved contracts. There's a fee on each contract. This is an annual maintenance fee. It's waived the first year. Starting in year 2, the lender will get $295 for this on the Credit Select program. Everything is here. The funding is paid out within 3 to 5 business days via ACH. Okay. They also have, in some cases, for the merchant, they'll offer a buyback program. So what is a buyback program? So they'll cover down to 610 credit score. But let's say you're a medical practice and you have somebody who has a 550 credit score who can't get approved, and they have no other way of paying. If the merchant wants them to, the lender will set them up where they'll approve the consumer anyway. They'll service the loan for the merchant, so they'll collect the payments. The merchant will collect any interest rate that's being charged, and the merchant gets that as profit. When the loan ages, if the consumer is making their payments and the loan ages between 2 and 6 months, depending on the situation, the lender will buy the paper if the merchant wants to. Some merchants may say, you know what, this person's paying, I'm going to continue taking these payments, or they'll say, I'll sell the paper. So it's a great option. Some merchants will say, no, I don't want that. If they don't get approved, turn them down. I don't have the flexibility. I have a tangible product. But some other products and services, some services may, a doctor's office, for instance, is intangible. So they may say, you know what, that's fine. I might as well, let's do it, and then sell the paper as they go. So that's a great option. On the Credit Select Plus program, this is the program sheet. It works for just about every vertical you could think of, especially on the Prime program, because the Prime is direct to consumer. So there's very few things they will not handle. I won't handle cost sales with that program, although technically they probably don't care, but I won't handle cost sales with it. It's a whole different, I don't want you focusing on cost sales, so it's a whole different category. This is a rundown of what the program will look like. Low fixed rates from 1.99%, loan terms from 24 months to 20 years. The higher terms are mostly on the Title I real estate loans. No prepayment penalties. Loan amounts up to $100,000. Once again, the higher amounts of the Title I. Available everywhere. 100% financing options. Prime credit pricing down to 640 FICO. Pre-qualification available. No recourse. All these loans, by the way, have no recourse to the merchant. So if the customer stops making payments, the merchant doesn't have to worry. Easy online application process, simple and quick merchant setup, optional subprime programs available at no additional cost down to 500 FICO score. This is a us versus them scenario that's in that package. So with this, you can show that a merchant, this is what you'll look like if you're using GE, and this is what this is what it looks like if you're using us. So on the merchant side, even taking into account the $199 closing cost, the merchant's coming out ahead as far as what they cash out on. On the consumer side, our rates are much more aggressive than GE. GE is much more expensive. Plus, we're going to approve a lot more people, even if they do nothing other than our prime program that goes down to 640 credit score. So this is really a win-win for a merchant. Even if they're using GE now, the argument should be, you know what, continue using GE, test us out on those same customers, and we're confident that in a very short period of time you'll be using us as your primary source. Okay, more details on the program. I'm not going to go over the thing they're looking there on the prime. No bankruptcies, no judgments of federal tax liens, no current delinquencies. Oxymoron, but subprime, same thing. The bankruptcy's got to be discharged 2 years. No judgments of federal tax liens, no current delinquencies. So none of these lenders, the theme is, none of these lenders want to lend some money to someone who's in declining financial health. Lenders are not looking for defaults. They're willing to take risks based on circumstances, but they're not looking for defaults. So they're going to do their vetting, and what they want to see is they want to see that, all right, a consumer had problems, but now they fixed their problems and they want a new start. So that's what we're looking for. So we have to be, honest with merchants. They're not going to get 100% of their people approved, because some people just should not be approved for additional credit. It's just as simple as that. As long as we're honest with the merchants and look at what it's doing instead of what it's not doing, you're going to make a lot of sales. So the wrong way to go into a merchant is to promise them, almost all approvals, and let them focus on what's going to be approved. The focus should be on what they're not getting now, which is they're losing all these customers, and we're going to get them a good percentage of those customers that they're not getting now. That's the way to look at these programs, all these financing programs. The Easy Pay 360, this is a rundown of the program, funding up to $5,000. And once again, I'll be going over all these programs. And I think there's a training on this one in the back office already. Loan term of 6 to 12 months. Merchants funded 100% if they choose to. They can build the cost into the program. Discounts from 11.9 to 30.95, though there's a couple verticals that are higher. Application decisions and processing typically require less than 15 minutes on the customer side. No recourse to the merchant. Customer requires a photo ID and personal check. That's it. Customer needs to make an initial deposit of 25% of the total, including anything they're adding on. So if they're tacking on the discount and they turn a $3,000 sale into a $3,800 sale, the 25% is based on the $3,800, not on the $3,000 ticket. Okay, so that's very important that the merchant understand that. That's an important ingredient to this. The thing about this program is, and those of you that have done it, it's really a pain in the neck to get the merchant approved. SPS is extremely picky. I mean, the paperwork has to be, and agents get annoyed at me because it seems like I'm being picky. I'm just being the messenger. If they can't read, if we send them a copy and it's dark in one place and it may appear that the merchant couldn't have read the wording, they're going to kick it back. It's got to be legible. Everything's got to be, the documentation has to be exactly the way they want it. This goes over the pricing. It goes over what the documentation that's needed. It's very picky. It's got to be exact as it reads here. So this program is a good niche program. You can make decent money with it, but you should treat it as a niche program. This is the lease-to-buy program. Like I said, this also is a niche program. It's a very good program, up to $5,000, no cost to retailer, financing option, free enrollment in Crest's marketing reward program. I have no idea what that is. I have to be honest with you. There'll be the merchant. I'll learn about it, but the merchant will be told about it when they sign up. There's two different options. There's 6% discount option and the 0% discount option. Either way, the consumer only has to pay $40 when they get approved. That's a big deal because it's up to 25%, $40. If they don't have $40, sorry to hear, that's a problem. Okay, this is the Flex. These are the Flex Funds program. This describes the cash advance program. It talks. To submit an application, there's a simple online process. You can click on there, go right. It brings you right to the online application. Have the merchant or you complete that application. You can even upload the documentation: 3 months bank statements, 3 months credit card statements. Click submit. The offers will start coming in usually within 24 hours.
All the reps.
On the business loan lease side, right now it's a paper application. We're going to be fixing that soon. There's going to be an online application very soon. The application's in the back office. You email it to me or you can fax it to me. 3 months back statements may be required, but it's not necessary initially. Decisions are usually received in 48 hours or sooner. Funding is in 5 to 15 business days. And the e-sale program, once again, there's an enrollment package in the back office. There's an agreement. Complete that. Send it in to me. We get the merchants signed up. Just about every merchant will be approved. We just have to make sure they're selling a tangible product. Decisions are received in 48 hours on applications, and business funding within 5 to 15 business days. Cost to merchant is 0 enrollment fee. You can mark it up, as I said, plus a monthly cost of 3%, or it's $99, whichever is higher. So the $99 is a minimum usage fee. And that is it. Now I'm going to open it up to questions, and let me just see what. There's a whole bunch of messages I got, and I'm going to stop recording at this point.